teuer. Womit kommst du bei mir in Paranoia? Ich hab nur nackt bei dir abgestaubt. Und du sagst, ich hätte dich deine Dienste beraubt, dein Bett. Du denkst wirklich, du bist wichtig. Wirklich wichtiger als ich. Denkst du wirklich, du bist wichtig? Live, vielleicht auch nicht.
What is up? What is up? Welcome everybody to TSP TV, brought to you from Ship Video Productions. Welcome to the Sunset Session live, tea on the balcony. Let's get rid of the thumbnail in quickly before the sunset disappears. So this is the first ever live stream I've done on my brand new apartment on the balcony. We don't have the thrift store studio anymore. I don't have a functioning computer anymore. I don't have a TV to cast the screen on, and I don't have any Wi-Fi or data on my now defunct reality phone. But nonetheless, guys, I did get myself sorted out with some cell plan today. I do got a little bit of data. Actually got quite a bit of data, 6 gigabytes in fact, and just almost immediately as I started to stream, there's been an influx of traffic. Welcome, Musical Muse. Have you changed your name from something for before? You said you haven't seen us for a long time. I'm not recognizing your name. Hello, Devil. Hello, Trip. The escapee is doing pretty fine and dandy, although I had a bit of a escapade today that did take me quite far away from what is now my home, and sort of got not exactly disastrous, but I was trying to collect some Western Union money. In the first place I went to, yeah, we have Western Union, put all the numbers in, took my passport detail. No, we can't give you that amount, it's too much, you're going to have to go somewhere else. So they directed me somewhere else, then directed me somewhere else, that then directed me somewhere else, and before I know it, I was about 20 miles away from where I am, and unfortunately I didn't come away with my Western Union. That is sort of not necessarily desperately needed, but will be needed in the not so distant future. But other than that, I've been out to the mall, had a little look around and I explored. There's a very large mall, about 15 minutes taxi drive away, maybe a little bit longer on the bus, if you did know what bus to take. It has been just a week since I've been here, as some of you may know, and I am just well, not really necessarily finding my feet, but I am finding my feet. I know a little bit around my blocks and my immediate neighbourhood. I've sort of wandered a little bit further afield in the last couple of days, getting a bit of reconnaissance of what is available in my close proximity, and I am sort of out in the middle of, not necessarily nowhere, but sort of in the middle between the sort of touristy part of Cancun, where all the fancy hotels are, in what is sort of downtown Cancun. This is sort of a little bit of a not necessarily rural area. I don't know if you can see that. We've got some thunder and lightning going. It's very bizarre, like there's not a cloud in the sky that way. In that side all the clouds are purple. Behind me they're a bit all pink and red, but there's also a few spots of rain, and there is also some lightning going on. So I thought, let's try and capture all this magic and maybe just chill out and hang out for a few minutes, or not necessarily going to be hours long, because I am on data at the moment. I don't want to be using all of that up in one go. I don't have the luxury of unlimited high-speed internet as I once did back in Toronto, but I'd give all of that up to be here, and I did give all of that up here, and I did somewhat bug out from Canada to come down here to sunny. There was another flash. Did you see that, guys? It is still very, very blistering heat. Back to it's Shawnee. Oh, hello, Shawnee. Yeah, I figured like you wouldn't be a newbie, and sort of talking about you haven't been around for a while. So yeah, good to see you. You've been sick and you've had surgery. Hope you're feeling a lot better now. It's always not nice to be sick and needing surgery, but you're still recovering here, but at least I can walk. Yeah, I was unable to walk a few years ago. I had a little bit of an injury, also required surgery. Unfortunately, being undocumented in Canada, saw that I didn't actually get the surgery that I need, and I still have a few fragments of shrapnel stuck in my leg, but as I said, guys, I am settling into new surrounds. I did want to sort of share a little bit of the sunset with you and what on earth is going on with this lightning, and we might sort of see a few sights and sounds that go up in by my balcony. Let me kind of, I doubt you can see anything, there's not even street lights. Actually, wow, look at that. That's much more stunning. The purple behind, don't you think? I've only got a very little balcony. I'm trying to sort of do my best that I can. I'm not sure what looks nice. So hang on. Do you know what I'm going to do? Still haven't figured this shit out, guys. As I said, I'm a little bit out of my comfort zone in some ways, not having all the sort of devices and things that I once had in my close proximity. Did you see that? Oh my goodness, look at this, guys. Isn't this stunning? Hang on a second, let me see if I can it's an extender. Bring that up a little bit, and I don't know if you want to see me or watch the sky. I'm pretty sure the sky is a lot more appealing to me. What's that in my hand? Oh, it's just a little cigarette. Devil speak. Just try something a second. There we go. So look at that beautiful, beautiful purple sky, and this is sort of what I do most evenings, is come up here, watch the sunset, have my smoke. I might sort of wander over and get a bite to eat from the convenience store, but I did eat at the mall today. They had a food court, which was very unlike, it was familiar to food courts in the sort of States and Canada, but it was unfamiliar in the fact that it sort of had sort of street food within the food court, and like waiters with menus, and again, sort of when I'm a little bit more familiar with these sort of places, I will do a little bit more recording and bring some of the sights and the sounds of my explorations to you if you guys are interested or not. But it's all been big changes for me. As I said, it's just over a week now since I arrived. I'm somewhat situated. The most important thing is I've got Glynis. We're watching the sunset here in Cancun, Mexico, my darling. And we've got a bit of sort of thunder and lightning as well as what's going on there. So this is my first official stream from my brand new apartment. And when I say brand new, it is pretty much brand new. I don't know if you can hear the rumbling of the thunder, but look how purple that sky is. Honks, honks, honks in the house. Welcome, my fellow former Torontonian neighbourino. I thought yesterday we were chilling out by the pool. Today we're chilling on my balcony, watching the sunset, some wonderful purples and some lightning. You're not the gusset this evening, honks. So we're not really up to much other than watching what is going on here. And oh my goodness, I turned that round just at the right time, didn't I? Did you catch that? So it is very, very breathtaking here. There is a little bit of traffic, as I said, it sort of is killing some of the serenity of the moment, but it is Saturday night. I guess a lot of people were getting ready to go and meet up with their friends and sort of crack open some beers. Maybe some people were heading out to the sort of more party zones. But as I said, I've been a little bit further afield and getting a little bit more familiar with my immediate area, which is always the most important thing to do, no matter where you sort of bug out or relocate to. I don't know anybody here. I know very, very, very little Spanish. To say I know Spanish is sort of an insult, really. I only know a few words and a couple of curses. And unfortunately, without data and a connection to the internet with your cell phone, your translator don't work. So it was pretty essential that I got my phone set up today, and I did want to try and get my funds from Western Union and try to open a bank account. It was a mission impossible, a bridge too far. I got the phone sorted out, which is good. I'm going to probably have to wait until next week to probably get... I mean, I still keep telling myself I've only been here a week, but I'm still trying to do everything so that all of a sudden I can not have to worry about doing anything, if you know what I mean, and just really, really enjoy it. Not that I'm not enjoying it, I'm enjoying it wholeheartedly, but, you know, I'm trying to get myself comfortable where I am in my surrounds now. Well, this is the thing, I've got none of the comforts trip that I had in Toronto, and it's all getting to the point where some of those comforts weren't exactly that comforting anymore. The pantry was sort of running down, although there was quite a substantial amount of ramen and beans left. I did have one military ration left that I was saving for an absolute emergency rather than for review purposes. But all in good time, Trip. Yeah, without a doubt, I will be starting a new pantry, and we will be rebuilding. And oh my goodness, if you thought the Dollarama was cheap, fuck me. Wait till you get yourself down to Mexico and just see how cheap things are. For example, a can of tuna costs 50 cents, and that was from the convenience store where things are expensive. Like, so I can only imagine how much sort of beans and what more would be in the expensive grocery store here. All that stuff is to come. We've got lots of out and about stuff. I mean, God, some of the sort of stunning and beautiful scenery that is around here is literally breathtaking, stuff of dreams. We will hopefully at some point be going on some, not necessarily extravagant excursions, but we will be going on some excursions to some very, very luxurious and exotic locations for sure. But TSP TV, unlike Reality Decoded, was a little bit of a mismatch. It was a little bit of everything in my sort of, I don't know, delusional wisdom, perhaps. I wanted to make sort of like a single channel that had a variety of content, just like you would if you tune into like Fox, one of the big networks like ABC or NBC. They don't just have one program on after the other, they have a whole variety of programming. And that was something I did sort of try to incorporate with TSP TV, be a one-man TV network, so to speak. And some of my info, I hope you can hear me okay, there is the traffic going by, but I did sort of have some influence from a good old 80s movie, Weird Al Yankovic's UHF, where he inherited sort of a shit video or shit TV station from his uncle, won it in a card game. Well, nobody watched that TV station, and with the help of his oddball buddies, he sort of made some programming in some scheduling that turned his little shit channel into the #1 station in town. Not that I wanted to have the #1 YouTube channel, but it was sort of some of his ideas that, you know, he had a variety of shows. That was what I tried to do on TSP TV. That's why you got ration reviews, you had the pantry builds, we had the out and about, we had the tea and friends, we obviously had the live streams, and obviously all the truth and stuff. Oh my goodness, the sky is turning into an amazement. I don't know which direction to put it at the minute. Welcome, Maidam, working Lurgan now. Glad you're here rather than not here, and this is my new view. Some of you will be very familiar with a view I once had in Toronto, Canada, and this, as I said, is a vast improvement. But the lightning and the sunset was sort of all going on at the same time. I thought, you know what, I've just got some data, let's give it a dummy run, let's see if it works, let's see if I can stream. So it is good to see you all, but I'm going to sort of try and continue obviously with the out and about stuff, because location. Hopefully some of you guys have really enjoyed watching the Toronto stuff out and about. And it'll actually be interesting for me in a while, not just now, but in a few months, to sort of go back and start watching those out and about in Toronto, just to compare to where I was to where I am. But at the minute, you know, this is still brand new to me. I don't really know much beyond a few blocks either way of where I am right now. Although I did venture out a few times and did venture out today. There's lots and lots of stuff to see, lots and lots of stuff to do, and maybe we can give you a little bit of a virtual tour of Cancun for those of you who have never been here or have been here and like to reminisce. Maybe if you have been here, tell me somewhere to go. Volcano activity, yeah, like the last sort of 3 or 4 weeks, guys, I've sort of really been preoccupied with getting myself here and all the sort of stress and turbulations of sort of packing up, discarding everything. In Toronto, I've become a stagnant pond, and this is sort of thing, although you have a little bit of the security of having a pantry and sort of having familiarity. Oh my god, can you see this sky, guys? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to point the camera out at the sky, and try and get it closer to me so you can hear my voice, and you can see what I'm seeing, because honestly this is much nicer than looking at me in the shadows. I'm pretty certain now we're not going to see any more fantastic lightning. Now we've pointed the camera in the direction, but you know, Toronto, as I said, was a little bit of a, I don't know, did you just catch that, stagnant sort of pond in a while. And sometimes when you are surviving, sooner or later your little base camp does run out of resources and doesn't become as sanitary as it once was. But the other thing was, for over a year with all this going on up there in the sort of draconian, tyrannical lockdown measures and whatnot, it was only sort of a matter of time, I feel, before they're going to start going door to door knocking for people. And when you're sort of someone without status, you don't really want people knocking on your door. So I wanted to get out for longer than it took me to get out, and now I'm here, I sort of am a little bit relaxed, but I do sort of need to resituate, which is always the case when you remove. Sorry, I can't even read your comments when I'm doing it like this, but seriously guys, enjoy the sky. So it was, you know, let's bug out. If you're going to bug out, you need to sort of at least have some destination in mind. And many of you may have known in the past I've spoken about Belize, but Belize has got a little bit of sort of issues on entry at the minute. And my intention was to get to Cancun and get the bus down to Belize, because there's a bus that runs daily from here for $40. It takes 8 hours, and it's a very picturesque, scenic route. It takes you through rainforests and little villages and stuff, and you know, even that in itself is production value and stuff that you can video and record. But when I did a little bit of comparison, Cancun is a lot more developed, but as, if not cheaper than Belize. The only sort of downside really is the language barrier, but that being said, I have only been here a week. A couple of words are sort of becoming more familiar, and once I sort of do get a little bit situated and get all the things I feel that I need in order to sort of sustain a little bit of you know, sustain myself a little bit here until other things take place in a not so distant future. And once I sort of do have all the things I need and I'm a little bit situated and more comfortable in my comfort, looking into learning a little bit of Spanish will be one of them, as well as getting back into my researching and ship video productions, because you know, with eternal sunshine, and there's only so long you can stay before you burn to a crisp, and the sort of hotter parts of the days might be a good time to come and sit in my nice air-conditioned apartment and do some ship video producing. But other than that, you know, I haven't really looked at any sort of news or what's going on. I couldn't tell you a thing other than the fact that I spent a lot of time and effort in sleepless nights and worries and anxieties at an all-time high prior to leaving here, and it did sort of mix into a crescendo once I sort of did get to the airport. But once I did get on the plane, once I did land, an awful lot of relief and weight fell off my shoulders. I don't know if you guys are enjoying this sky or not, and maybe I should just shut up and let you enjoy it. But let me just turn it around quickly again. Hopefully you can see me. I look very red. That is all to do with the lighting, not sunburn, I can assure you. There, so everybody, hey maiden, hey everyone. Volcano activity is raised. Need a day out to the the Itza pyramids. I'm definitely going to do that at some point in the not so distant future. But again, once I sort of get myself a little bit situated and comfortable, then we'll do a little bit more sightseeing. And so I'm not really here on vacation. If you are on vacation, then you try and do as much as you can. But I've sort of been trying to detox, de-stress, acclimate. Find a little bit of my surroundings and start to sort of piece together some of my immediate requirements, which, you know, I got my cell phone sorted out. We've got data now. I can, you know, use the internet in my room. I don't have to go down and jump on the Wi-Fi in the hotel that is across the pool from me, and that does give me a little bit of you know, self-reliance. I don't have to rely on Wi-Fi and stuff like that. I can get out and about and find directions, use maps. That's another thing you can't use without any internet connection is your GPS and your maps. And those things in the new surroundings are pretty handy to have. So it's been, as I said, a sort of not necessarily manic week, but it's been a sort of stressful week, and the fact that I've moved, I haven't come here on vacation, and some of you will know that moving is a little bit of a stressful experience. The silver lining was that I moved to somewhere that's less stressful. It's tropical, it's beautiful, it's pretty much paradise. It's all I could ever want. Really and truly, I'm 102% happier than I was this time 10 weeks ago. I do have an address, Devil. I have to try and figure out what it is exactly. And I'll send it to you. I just sort of know where I live. At the minute, I don't necessarily know the exact address for you, but don't worry, homeboy, I get that to you over on the Discord. Although I did try and send out a few texts, because supposedly I've got unlimited texts to the UK and Canada as well as calling. Some texts went through, some failed to send, so I'm not sure exactly what's going on there, but I should have unlimited calls and texts to North America, as well as 6 gigabytes of data. And a real good thing about the sort of plan here that I picked up today is a pay-as-you-go. It costs $25 US for unlimited calls, texts, as I said, North America wide, although I don't know why the texts aren't working North America wide, 6 gigabytes of data. But here's the other sweet little thing, that all your social media apps, with the exception of YouTube, Twitter, Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, you can use all of those indefinitely. You don't have to use your data, they don't eat into your data. So that is a nice little thing here, and apparently Mexico is one of the cheapest places in the world to own and use a cell phone. So $25, that's half the price that I was paying, actually more than half the price I was paying, because I was paying 50 Canadian, which would be about 60, 65 maybe US. So that is cut an awful lot of my living expenses down. The rent I'm paying now, I don't think I mentioned to you before, it is $400 US, all my utilities included. Let me give you a little tour for those of you who want to have a look here. So this is my bedroom. That's where I sleep. I've got a nice brand new mattress, brand new sheets, brand new pillows. Everything there is brand new, and it was a furnished apartment as well, although not that furnished. That's my chair. I don't know if you can see the chair. There's a spare bed if anybody wants to come and visit. It kind of where I lay my clothes. So over here is my little closet. I still haven't unpacked, look, still haven't unpacked. There's a few items that I tossed up there, the computer that broke. My only entertainment is my little wind-up radio, one of the few sort of bug-out items I did bring with me from my bug-out bag. I thought that would be handy. It's got a radio, it's got a flashlight, and it is also a battery charger. still got my Canada wallet, and pretty much at the minute I'm down to 1,500 pesos, which is about $75 US. As I said, I've had a lot of expenses this week, and today, trying to get to the Western Union to collect my money, I shelled out an awful lot of money, although not that much in terms of taxi prices in the US or in Canada. I did spend a little bit more, about $35 on 4 or so taxis, but one of those was nearly a 16-mile trip. So imagine paying for a 16-mile taxi ride in Toronto or in where the US you are now. So this is my other little balcony, and this is my very, very empty living space. It'd be nice to have a little couch there, maybe a TV stand, a little computer desk. Maybe I could even set up this little window as my studio. But as you can see, guys, very, very clean, very, very, very nicely done, tasteful, I guess. I do have a ceiling fan up there, brand new air conditioning. The windows are open this time of night, let the fresh night air get into here. I do shut it up and shut the curtains up in the daytime because the sun beats on here, and it's like an oven. Not that I'm complaining, it's nice to keep the sun out rather than to crave the sun, if you know what I mean. This is my little bathroom. Let me put the toilet seat down. It's my toilet. There's my sink, and there is my shower, towel rack, and if you come up here, it's my front yard with the pool. You can see the lights over there. See those spotlights? That's where all the fancy hotels are, and that's the beach over at that point. So that's pretty cool. I didn't expect to see that on there. Sounds like one of the neighbours is probably watching a little bit of football by the sound of it. But this is a vast improvement on the little dingy basement that I was living in. I've got a look, the sink still got a sticker on. Pack of cigarettes, $2.50 US for 25. That's what, 10 cents to smoke. And bless, I went to the little bodega just down the road. There's a little bodega there, and there's a little in that direction. An Oxo, I don't know how you pronounce it correctly. Like a 7-Eleven. And but anyway, I went to the bodega, which is in that direction, and I asked for 2 packs of cigarettes, and she pulled out a pack of cigarettes and gave me just 2 cigarettes. I was like, no, 2 packets. So you can buy cigarettes individually down here if you need to, and a can of beer, it cost you about $1 perhaps. Actually, let's go back to looking at the sky. So nice place, thank you, maiden. The sky is flashing kind of nicely, but I can't show you the sky and read your comments, although there doesn't seem to be that many comments anyway. So probably finish up this bliff, round this sunset session up, because the sun has now set, but the lightning that does still stuck in the flip-flop. And I haven't worn socks or shoes for over a week now, which is a blessing. Although I wasn't really wearing socks or shoes when I left Toronto once or twice maybe. I was trying to wear flip-flops. Wow, you see that? The sky is still going. Oh my goodness, we might keep going if this is going to get spectacular. I don't even know which way to point it right now. Actually, I've got a better idea. Hold on. Let me flip. Actually, that's worse. think it looks better with the front camera. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to get the best image possible for you. Don't want to drop my camera over the side of the balcony. That would be disastrous, quite disastrous. Anyway, doesn't seem, oh, there you go, many comments, there's something from Devils, it looks good. Yeah, I mean, goodness, $400 a month, you certainly wouldn't be able to find something of this equivalent size and sort of newness in Toronto for anything less than $1,500, maybe if you went out to some of the towns on the suburbs, Mississauga perhaps. You might get it for around $1,200–1,100, but certainly not in the city of Toronto would you find anything this size for that cheap, and you certainly wouldn't get anything with the beautiful scenery that I got there. I actually brought the card with me, Glynis. I was so very upset that it arrived sort of as I was leaving, and I really sort of had intentions to try and eat everything that you sent me in one go. I had no appetite. I really couldn't eat for a couple of days before I left Toronto. I was just so full of nerves, so full of worry, and didn't think that I was even going to get past the airport at Toronto to even make it here. And yeah, I bought the card. I did smoke all the weed. I drank all the whiskey. I had a few of the protein bars, but. Please forgive me, Glynis. I feel terrible that I had to do that, and I even feel bad that sort of my computer that Killer sent me last year got damaged in transit. It doesn't work anymore, and you know, it makes me feel. I feel bad that you guys sort of send me this stuff, and I should have probably made a little bit of an announcement that I was going to head out just in case such an eventuality, but I kind of didn't really want to jinx it, and sort of the less people knew about my escape plans, the sort of better. And in the end, I did say a few goodbyes to a few people that I did let know in Toronto I was going, but for the most part, I ducked out in the night, and even now I'm still getting a few texts. Oh my God, what are you doing in Mexico? I heard you left, and I'm never going to see you. Why didn't you get by? The card was great. It's in there somewhere, it's in my bag, so it's still unpacked. And I did bring all the cards and sort of things that all the viewers have sent me. I did try to bring as much. Little shit, Prepper Baby and Binocular Boy are in there somewhere. Look at that sky. Isn't that amazing? And as I said, once I try and get a little bit situated, I might try and do a little reconstruction of a studio, but I did bring some of the elements of TSP TV in the thrift store studio. I just couldn't bring everything with me at all. And the worst part is I ended up paying $180 at the airport for overweight baggage, which ate into sort of what little amount of funds that I sort of come here with. And you know, it may look as though, wow, it's an exotic, luxurious location, he's got to be doing all right for himself. My flight and my rent cost me less than my month's rent that I'd have to have paid in Canada. And I did borrow a bit of sort of money off my family to try and sort of get all the things I needed once I got here, which, as I said, I'm down to 1,500 pesos, which is about 75 US dollars. And that is why I went out on a trek today to go and collect some Western Union. There's some more money been sent over from my family. My sort of inheritance stuff should be finalised within the next sort of few weeks, and money really, again, shouldn't be an issue, especially here. But at the moment, until that happens, I've sort of got to hustle and make a little bit of cash one way or another, and hoping today that I was able to pick that Western Union up. I'd have probably been sorted for the rest of the month, but as I said, it's been a sort of expense, and it's sort of eaten everything that I sort of managed to sort of grab in order to escape to get here. Renting here in Oregon is $850 a month. I have a roommate, she pays half. 3-bedroom house and a large yard. Utilities are another 200 or so. Well, oh my God, look at the sky, guys. Is any of you finding the sky amazing? And kind of get more sky, less me. And it's not the biggest of balconies, unfortunately. Drink of water. But yeah, if you wanted to come and move in with me down here, Devil, and split the rent, that'd be $200 each. I've got a spare bed, you've seen it. You can even maybe put up a little partition and wall and just have little tiny cabinets to sleep in. But seriously, the sky. I haven't seen a sky like this since I've arrived, so it's sort of quite awe-inspiring for me as well as it may or may not be for you. So it's not really the most interesting stream. As I said, it's just trying to get back in a little bit of habit of streaming, because I've been off and on for quite some time. Is sort of towards the closer it got to me leaving Toronto, each sort of month got a little bit more desperate and a little bit more stressful, even though the weather had changed, and sort of give me a little bit of comfort value. For most part, my days there were very, very miserable, and sort of not wanting to get out of bed, not wanting to sort of really do anything when I did get out of bed, and not knowing what to do with myself. That was quite often or not the daily routine, and sometimes sort of forcing myself into things like, you know, the productions for Reality Decoded did give me a purpose and did get me through quite a lot of those days. So you probably don't realise how much those sort of shit video productions, as long as tedious and boring as they may be to watch, they did a lot more in keeping me sane than the sort of entertainment value that they delivered. But still, you know, that was something that was sometimes hard to get into a rhythm and into a groove. And you guys that do watch know that it's not without shadow banning or passive censorship or the algorithm for tinkering and fucking with us. So it's been kind of nice and refreshing this last week to not really been looking at my phone and not really having a dicky bird or an understanding of the news, the goings on at the world, not really paying attention to anything other than my immediate surroundings and my immediate needs. And it's been quite, as I said, very, very, very refreshing. Done the world a good, a little bit of tonic. But I'm still not sort of 100% without anxiety, stresses and worries, and, you know, like today, trying to figure out this Western Union shit. I need to point the camera that way because the sky is going pretty beautiful. It's one of those things, no matter where you point it, there's always something better going on the other direction. But sort of the first two hurdles that I fell upon in my endeavours to try and do it sort of didn't really deter me, but when I sort of got to the mall where the guy said that that's where I'd be able to find what I needed, and having walked around it multiple times and trying to get directions, that's when a little bit of the stress and the anxiety, and not necessarily panic, set in, but it sort of did elevate a little bit, and I sort of then turned a little bit into desperation, seeing as I was out, you know what, let's just see it through, it's just a little bit longer, find another place. And every place I come to, I got knocked down, and into the end I sort of sat on the street and smoked a cigarette in a pool of sweat. It's very, very hot, and then decided to quit for the day and headed home. Took a very, very long cold shower, took a little siesta, and when I sort of woke up, the sun was setting, and I tossed this stream up together. But as I said, guys, a whole lot better than the situation for me mentally, physically, and its surroundings than Toronto. But you know, there's still some healing to be done before I'm back firing on all cylinders. And the other good thing about this, you've got a passport and you were in the Bahamas a couple of years ago. Well, you know, like I say, it's a little bit of, it might be time to bug out. Who knows? As I said, I haven't really been paying an awful lot of attention to what's going on in the world. But with the way it's going, I'm not even sure if here's any safer or less privy to what's going on. You know, the mall, I didn't see a soul without a mask on. You know, I put my bandana on. As I said, I'm a stranger here. I'm a foreigner here. I don't really know the language. There's also quite a few scary looking Mexican security guards with MP5s and batons and tasers. Rather than risk that, it's quite easier just to put a bandana on. But you know, it was very, very evident that in some places, in certainly sort of, it's closer you get to the touristy areas, which I was touching upon the sort of border of today, it is a lot more evident with the masks, and by all accounts the Delta variant is rampant on the southern border, which isn't that far away from me, funny enough. It's about 8 hours away. But anyway, I'm not necessarily concerned about phony variants because I don't even believe that there is even a disease. I just think they've done a little bit of doctrine to other illnesses to make it look as though we've got a pandemic. But the US, certainly Canada, that was sort of the major contributing stress factor there, was the fact that Canada was getting more and more and more North Korea-like. There are quarantine camps there out in Ontario and Quebec. There's you know, ad campaigns being run about, you know, do you or a loved one know somebody who hasn't been vaccinated? Let us know who they are and we'll get in touch with them. And shit like that's scary. They're even putting safety preparedness advice leaflets through some doors telling folks that they need to be prepared for up to 6 months food and water stuff. I mean, unfortunately my pantry wasn't 6 months worth. You know what it looked like once. I had about a year or more's worth of food, and it did see me through a year or more. I mean, I did top it up with fresh groceries, but you know, without that pantry, dear God, I would have starved or had to have stolen from Roger, or probably killed him and kept his body in the basement and just chopped him up a little bit at a time and tossed it to the raccoons. But that pantry saved my life, and you know, it wouldn't last forever, and it was getting to the point where it's a month or two, there'd probably be nothing left in those drawers, and without an income to replace it, then you really do have a problem. But here again, fruit, coconuts fall from the trees. I could literally go out and pick my lunch up off the floor, bring it back and watch it. And I might even start doing that, to be honest. Some of this fruit is fresh, tropical and delicious. And it's growing pretty wild here. No GMOs or any sort of pesticides. It is literally organic, naturally grown fruit. So I will be sampling some of that, and it is much more easier to sort of survive in the wild. If you had to survive on the wild where you have a tropical climate, you haven't got to worry about winter, and where food does literally fall off the trees. But let's see if we can keep this guy. Is anyone even interested anymore? We're down to 4 people, so I'm not even going to be anal anymore about my time zones and say a good night and God bless in a couple of minutes. I was going to say let's keep it going for an hour. Let's see if that cues some Augusta girls. But I do want to sort of keep the sort of stuff that I'm doing here separately from reality decoded, and keep sort of reality decoded just for what it is, the sort of conspiracies, the mysteries and the sort of truth stuff. Because I do really enjoy doing that and sort of doing the research, and I really do kind of enjoy editing the videos. That is going to be something I'm going to get back into once my feet are more on the ground. As I said, I've sort of hit the floor running a little bit, but I'm still up and down. What's growing in the woods near you? I don't know. They look some very exotic. I think we might have some avocados for sure. There's certainly some limes. I'm not sure if they're lychees. Shitloads of coconuts. There's also a lot of obviously wildlife. I've seen lots of birds, lots of lizards. I've also found something interesting, or something I find interesting, like little sort of disintegrated lizards. I don't know if they get too hot in the sun and bake, or if they just sort of die and then the sun cooks them. but they look like they've disintegrated. And I had one in the floor in the kitchen the other day, and when I sort of prodded it, it just fell to bits like dust. Don't know if it's frequency related. Who knows? But if I see when I got my camera on me, I'll record it and show you exactly what I mean. A little bit strange, got my eyebrows raised a little bit. But this is a stunning and wonderful storm that has been going on since the sunset. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Hopefully you've enjoyed your company. But the thing is, over at Reality Decoded, we do get a few more viewers watching the live stream. As I said, we've got 4 watching now, and this channel has 4,000 plus subscribers, and only 4 people are watching. I'm guessing not everybody. That might well be it, honks. They may have shed their skin and just left the skin behind, but they kind of leave like a little sort of body patch, like they may have been zapped. But yeah, that is. I think we might have some mangoes, Devil. It is sort of hard to. I've only sort of seen what's on the side of the road. I haven't sort of wandered into the sort of foresty areas yet. And again, that will be something we will do together. I need to get myself a machete, perhaps. Well, I've actually got a couple of lizards that were, I don't know if they've lived in the room, but they were running around in the kitchen up and down the walls. I kind of like having lizards in the house. I do have an affection for lizards. I do consider myself a little bit of a lizard. I need a hot rock to lay my belly upon while the beating sun on my back is making me feel good. And I do have a lizard tattoo on my belly for that meaning. But having lizards run around the house is also good because they eat bugs and things. They act as a little bit of a clean-up system, you know. I don't mind lizards, I love them. I might even try and sort of make a terrarium for some of them. Yeah, no notifications. And as you guys know, TSP TV was shadow banned to fuck. And the purpose I sort of did rebrand and relaunch at Reality Decoding, keep things a little bit simpler in sort of in one sort of genre, I guess, was to, I guess, stop spreading myself a little bit thinly that I may have been doing here at TSP TV, trying to bring too much content. But as I said, you don't have to watch all the content. I was just bringing stuff that was of interest or of enjoyment to me and sharing it with you on here. And as I mentioned earlier, I sort of had the idea of trying to make a one-man channel with a variety of different shows and programming. But I forgot a little bit what I was going to say. That's right, but back in January we got a community strike that took me out for 3 months. I also got threatened with a lawsuit. So this channel is for literally 18 months or more. It's been censored, shadow banned, community struck. It's pretty much invisible, I think. They certainly are, and that is another thing here, that when I moved to Toronto, I moved there in the middle of a bed bug epidemic, and you sort of think somewhere like Toronto, that would be not a thing that would be of concern or worry, but I'm in this part of the world and sleep beautifully on a fresh, clean bed and don't really itch that much, and don't really get many mosquitoes in the room or the apartment at all. If or not, that is the lizard cleanup crew. I do get a little bit bitten out by the pool by ants and mosquitoes, but it's all part of the experience of being where you are. We've got some rain now, guys. I don't know if you can hear it, but it is raining in the rainforest. So I'm going to try and finish my spliff. Raining in the rainforest. How cool is that? We've got lightning, the sunset, and rain. Cucaracha, la cucaracha, la 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 la. I'm gonna have to get myself some more Mexican themed intros for TSP TV. I think you guys do know I like my intros. And the one I used today was saying filmed in Toronto, Canada, but it isn't anymore. It's filmed in Cancun, Mexico. But hopefully we will get, as I said, back into rhythm in the not so distant future, and we'll be back in action at Reality Decoded. before you know it. And once I get some more things that are of a requirement for my broadcasting purposes, hopefully it'll be a little bit smoother. Did I just drop my lighter off the side? I think I did. No, I didn't. I thought it fell off the side of the balcony then. That would have been quite catastrophic. It's my only one. But there is some rain coming down. I don't know if you can see it, and the lightning is still fluttering. So I doubt my amigos will be out by the pool getting drunk. I can't hear the music, so that's a good sign that they're probably not. And I might just make my way to the convenience store, because I did a hell of a lot of walking today. I must have walked probably 5 or 6 miles. I should have done the steps, but I did end up about 17 miles away from where I'm living. Very, very close to the sort of beach and the tourist away, a little bit north of here. And it did take me 35 minutes in a taxi to get back when I did get back. So there is a little bit more life that I found not that far away, maybe 20 or so minutes walk. Save that for another day. There's some like market stalls and some street food in a couple of stores, nothing sort of fancy. Oh my goodness, the storm is really getting ferocious now. Do you want to stay with it? I don't mind, although actually I should cut it to an hour. As I said, I am using beta on my cell plan, so I don't want to eat into too much of that, so I do want to bring you some more streams when and how I can. But it is touching base. It has been a week. I sort of am a little bit more grounded now than I was a week ago, and I'm a little bit more settled in my immediate surroundings. Not completely settled yet, but baby steps. And we're running on Mexican time now, where everything's way tranquilo, not like the rush hour and the rat race of Toronto. The toilet, pinchi cucaracha, pinchi puta, pinchi madre, no chingada. Alright. So we are nearly at the hour mark, so I am going to say my goodbyes to those of you who have stayed with us, and thanks for tuning in. But somewhat of a disappointment in viewers. Only 4 did stick around for the duration, but we don't really do much with TSP TV these days, so maybe some of the newbies at Reality Decoded are unaware of the fact that I even have another channel called TSP TV. But thanks for those of you that did shoot. Look at that, it just went up to 6 when I said there's only 4. And cue the gussets. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be an Alma? Is it going to be Darcy? Is it going to be Martha? Is it going to be Nancy returning from wherever it is she vanished? I think she got warped into another dimension, or maybe went back to the realms of reality that she originated from. But we do miss our little emojical witch from the bayou. Nice seeing you live, nice seeing you, Glynis. Again, please forgive me for having to disregard some of that stuff, but that is kind of really what you have to do when you bug out. But having said that, that bag of trail mix and fucking chocolate covered mangoes would have been bliss on the plane, because by the time I got on the plane, the shitload of edibles that I ate before I did go through passport were starting to kick in. And then unfortunately when I got here, sort of the fatigue and the stress of the travel and the week and not eating for a few days all hit me at once, and I sort of zapped myself in trying to sort of go out and try and locate food in the blistering heat of the Cancun afternoon. That was interesting, but here I am a week later, no worse for wear, and even more happier than I was then. Yeah, you wouldn't know how much colour I've got. I might show you a tan line at some point, but we are getting close to the hour mark. The newbies did just show up. We went up to 7 now. I don't know if you can hear the frogs are croaking a little bit. What do I do with my light on? Yeah, I do find myself smiling a lot here. Sometimes I just sit looking at the trees and the birds, and That's all I need. I don't really need anything else. I'd much rather be around wildlife and plant and vegetation than people sometimes, but you people are good people. Otienne, bonsoir mon ami, benviendos dos Cancun, I think that's right. This is where I live now. Live from Cancun, yes we are. You've missed a wonderful, wonderful lightning storm. And we are currently in the middle of a rain. I don't know if you can see down on the road. But it was cool to chill with you guys. It's also because I'm a little bit starved of conversation at the minute, although I sort of can pigeon speak a little bit to some of the sort of locals, and the owner, who speaks a bit of English, and there is another lady that lives here that speaks some English, but for the most part I'm not really doing that much talking, so that's another reason to stream, so I get a little bit of social interaction, although I'm not really missing it, to be quite honest. I am quite content to be here sort of all on my own doing nothing. I did pick up a book and start to read a few pages the other day while trying to eat some spicy Mexican snack mix, and got it all over the pages. Wasn't a good idea, so I sort of put that to rest, but might be something I'll do this evening. Sit out here if it's still raining, read a book, smoke a little spliff, and off to bed early, and maybe I'll wake up early and watch the sunrise, which is something I've done about 3 or 4 times in the last week. Catch a little siesta, sleep was great. Not really eating an astronomical amount, but I did eat a wonderful street torta today, which is like a sandwich with some carnitas in. That shit was a bomb with some nice spicy condiments. So couldn't ask for more right now. So guys, I'm going to say good night. May the force be with you. Thanks for tuning in. Take care. Be excellent to each other. Keep it thrifty, and we will see you sometime soon, live or in an upload from Cancun, Mexico, where I now live. ATN, take care. Devil, take care. Glynis, honks. Maiden, if you're still lurking, and whoever else was watching, enjoy the rest of your Saturday. See you guys soon.